points come to me, I share. So the first thing that comes to my mind is I'm going to share with you one of my favorite quote of Galileo. To me, all artists, all scientists, all selflessly serving anywhere where there is no self, for me it is Baba who is working. He said, I come awakening, quickening the spirit. So what is quickening the spirit? So this quickening of the spirit is done through all these phases, like this. So I thought that Galileo, one sentence of his touched me deeply, which I asked Amber to first decide, and then I will say about Baba. Yeah.
The sun, with all the galaxies and planets revolving around it and dependent upon it, still has time to ripen a bunch of grapes in a wayside orchard, as if it had nothing else in the world to do.
So, how great is this cosmos? The solar cosmos, a part of it is governed by what we call the solar cosmology or whatever it is. So, in that there are so many planets, so many things going on. So, it is all being controlled as though by the sun. But this very sun can even ripen a bunch of grapes in a wayside orchard, and Galileo feels as if it had nothing else to do in the world. Whether all the galaxies are moving or not moving, this happening, that happening, whatever it is. So like this, Baba for me is the spiritual sun. So wherever we are and whatever we are, the moment we try to remember him, he is there just for us, so that our hearts really get ripened for his love. So Baba, to me, is sort of a spiritual sun. So people come here and go. Sometimes you are here, sometimes you are not. And then I was reminded of a thought that came to me, that time passes. What passes is time, and what remains is eternity. So that eternity is ever there, and that's why we have in the Samadhi the eternal beloved. So wherever we go, that eternal beloved is always with us. So in a way, this is not a goodbye day, but this is also sometimes I tell people that this is the day of planning for the next visit of the season. So this is not a goodbye day, but a day of planning to visit this place during the next season. So whatever I am doing this now is not, don't try to put me on a high pedestal or something like that, but just one of you, one like you, we are all on one level. And for this, I can imagine what you feel about those who stayed with Baba. You may be right, you may be wrong, I have nothing to say, but I also felt in the same way, the same thing. But a funny incident that happened, that Baba through that gave me the right perspective. So in the beginning when I came, I was told that, well, he is on higher plane. Somebody said, in those days there were, in the 30s especially, there were talks about among the people that who is in what plane. So he's on the 3rd plane, he's on the 5th plane, he's on the 6th plane. And I used to come and look at those people. Well, the faces look just the same, but he's on the 3rd, he's on the 6th. What's happening? So one of my friends said to me that Adike Irani, Baba's secretary, was on the 3rd plane. And then Dr. Deshmukh, who took dictation of the discourses, was on the 5th plane. And Gustafji was on the 6th plane. So naturally, when we hear things, we reason for it, we try to put it into logic. So I said, oh, let me think. Gustafji on the 6th plane seems right, because he was with Sai Baba, he was also with Upasni Maharaj, and then he came to Meher Baba, and then he was on fast for so many days and all these things. So it's rational that he can be on the 6th plane. But I couldn't somehow equate Ali on the third and Deshmukh on the fifth plane. I'm just telling you what I was thinking. Deshmukh met Baba in the 30s. He was living in Nagpur and Ali was Baba's orderly, as we call, right from the beginning. So how can you be? I said, something wrong. Somebody getting like that. But in the beginning it happens. I'm just telling you what happened to me. And still there are so many things to learn and to live also. Learning is a sort of living and catching up with new things. So, Baba knows our hand very well, very well. As he says, as I often say, Baba's quote is, I love you more, I am the divine beloved who loves you more than you can ever love yourself. In this I have changed a little word, I know you more than you can ever know yourself. So he knows what is in our hand, what is in our heart, what is in our mind. So I had this sort of thing. So then Baba gave me an opportunity. Right from the beginning, Baba allowed me to be with him for programs and other things. So there was one program when Baba was walking ahead. Some Mandi were with Baba. And Gustaji, though he was old, Gustaji had an angelic face. Really, one of those who were with Baba who had an angelic face, Gustaji was like that. He was observing silence also. So now, it so happened that he was the last person in the crowd. All have gone ahead. So I said, this is the opportunity. He's observing silence, doesn't matter. So I tried to start walking with Gustaji. Now I had a feeling I'm walking with a person on the sixth plane. I'm very fortunate. And I'm walking with him. And then I turned to Gustaji. Gustaji was, but I knew his language. His way of spelling was this A-E-I-O-U. And then the other signs and all that. So as I was walking, I said, Gustaji, he said, look at me and smile. What is it? I said, Gustaji, I heard that you are on the sixth plane. Is it right? So Gustaji smiled at me and he says, yes. That's right. Sixth plane, that's right. I said, now one thing is confirmed. Now again I started walking with. Now are you sure that I am walking with the person of the sixth plane? Very fortunate. You have thought of Baba. So I was going like this, and then as I am walking, then he just, after a few steps, he just pats on my shoulder. And look at him. And I could understand his gestures. He said, well, Bal, I just fooled you. I said, what? Fooled me? He said, to tell you the truth, I have not even boarded an airplane. On the sixth plane, how is it possible? So, those who have come in contact with Baba, so it is this, it has nothing. You try to love him, you try to remember him, he takes care. And even sometimes, even sometimes I heard Baba saying that those who come to me, the more closer you come, the more blindfolded he takes you to him. Because we are not concerned. We are not after it. Whatever is his wish, that we want to follow and remember him in all things. And then slowly, as we peel the onion, so those things of egoistic things, they are just pulled out. And so, the second story, I don't know what is here. Gustaji, So also, I may share another story. We come to Baba, means at least I come to Baba, because we are so influenced and we are so caged. Rather, I was so caged in my own thoughts that I wanted Baba to be what I want him to be. Not what Baba is. So my idea about master, my idea of a perfect master, my idea of the avatar, whether he fits in those binoculars or not, he doesn't, and I'll have to check whether he's right or I am wrong or whatever it is. So there was an occasion. It's all I'm talking about when, not that it's with all of you, but as it was with me. And it was in the most early days I came. So I saw the people who are coming with Baba. So they were from higher middle class family, villagers were less, they talk Gujarati, they talk English, and Baba's expression is in English and all these things. So I said, Baba says I am for all. But is he really for all? Is he really for the villagers? Is he really for the common man? Or is he really for those who bring big garlands and big presents and all these things? So once I went to MeherBaba, maybe 46, 47. So as I went there, I saw quite a lot of people from Bombay and Pune had come, and everyone had nice packages for Baba, along with nice ribbons and flowers and all these things, all well dressed. And again the thought came to me, is he really for all, or is he really for the selected ones or something like that? And so Baba was sitting there, and he allows us, he gives us, that is the intimacy thing. He comes on our level so that he just makes it possible that whatever doubts I had, they should be fully expressed within me. So I was watching, people are going and they are giving packages to Baba. Baba is saying very nice and all these things. And one of Baba's disciple, Kakabaria, was standing nearby. So whenever anybody brings package, he would say, give it to him. And there was a round table, and he would keep that one. And then would case and all this. He loves all equally. Just as I was saying about the sun, as I said, we will go back. As whether we are here or MeherBaba or in the States, practically we are equidistant from the sun. So if it is so with the equidistant with the sun, what about the spiritual sun who is MeherBaba? Wherever we may be, whatever we may be, we are equidistant from him. So likewise, Baba knew my thoughts. And so now what I did, I wanted to watch each one giving presents to Baba. So I stood last in the line. And as everyone was giving, so now at least I was the last person. And so what I did, in those days, as you find now, there are plants and all these things. In the 40s, it was nothing, it was all totally dry thing. So there was one basil plant, like a small one. So I just picked some leaves, or what you call that comes out of thing, that rises up.
The stem.
Manjari, what we call it.
The seeds, the flower.
The seeds that are there. So it was all dry, so I took it up and stood in line. Now let me see what is, how he accepts. So now as the time passes by, I get closer to Baba, and now I am facing him. Now I am the only one. And with that dry leaves in my hand standing before him. Baba looks at me, and for all other things he was asking Kaka, receive this, put it on the table. But when I went to him, he cupped his own hands like this before me, as if he was going to receive a very precious, very valuable present like that. And I put that thing in his hands. And then Baba very gracefully took to Kaka and signs that keep it well like this. And then he looked at me. And that look really washed off all sorts of doubts that I had or I might have or something like that. So it is through such things that Baba comes to us. Baba doesn't want, at least from my experience, doesn't want to suppress any doubts or anything that we feel about Baba. We should say, Baba, you say this, but it is like this. But Baba said, how high your doubts can be? They cannot be higher than the sky, which is over me. So likewise, when we come to Baba, we have to open ourselves, and then he reveals to us that he is the real sun. What is next? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe then one of the things that I often share with you, that our being here, there singing the trees, everything is, Baba said, everything is according to the wish of God, whatever is happening at the time. So likewise, if this is so, then our coming here is also according to his wish. We may say we may want to come, we may not be able to come. So one or two stories that come to me, who didn't know that they were coming here, and I would request Divana to tell the story of Paul Williams.
Paul Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remind you what, yeah.
You remind me,
Yeah.
so I forget, because I didn't know this one was on the agenda. This is some years.
It's all informal.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is some years.
Mistakes are allowed.
I know, but I meant the little holes you can fill in.
Yeah.
This is some years ago, this story. You mean his first coming,
This
right?
first one.
So this is a number of years ago when Erich and Manny were both with us, and they would attend the trust office together. And then the car would come back at about 6 p.m. They worked a full, hard day at the office. I was fortunate enough to be one of the helpers who was at Marazov. So in the late afternoon, I'm sitting out here and mending or sewing something, and all of a sudden somebody comes in, a tall young man, and he's walking sort of his cycle, and he plops it right where we put our shoes, right in front of Baba's store here at Mandalay Hall. And I look at that, and I say, Jay Baba, I said, maybe you should move your bicycle a little ways away, because Manny and Erich will be coming soon. And I knew that Erich would not like seeing a bicycle right in front of Mandalay Hall. Now, you're getting the story backwards, because this is, I'm telling you first what happened, and then you'll hear how he came. So at that time, now it's late, and before I can get him to move the bicycle much, because he's looking a little bewildered and all, he goes, well, I just want to fix something's happened with flat tire, I want to fix it. Can't I just fix it here? And at that moment, the car comes into the compound. Now, for those of you who have ever seen it, everyone would get up and say Baba's Jay when they would come. So they get out of the car, and Erich gets out of the car, and seeing that cycle there, he immediately says, have you no sense? This is Baba's threshold. Move the cycle away. So now the story unfolds. This is his introduction to MeherBaba's place with the mandala. It turns out that Paul...
Sometimes he welcomes us with open arms. Sometimes it just punches.
So Paul had been riding all over. As a matter of fact, I think he had come overland.
Yes, He was cycling right from here. He was going to Aurangabad. He has come from Aurangabad, and on his way, he has come here and he has heard of Baba. And he said, let's see, it's an ashram, so I have a tent, I can just stay here, something like that. And so he happened to come, and he thought it would be a spiritual ashram, everybody would just help us and all these things. We do. Sometimes.
So, I'm not even sure if he realized, because when he's directed here, he had that puncture. So it's like they just said, immediately go down this road, Marazad. He didn't know the difference between Marazad and MeherBaba, not having been here at all. And so he comes and expects to be able, he sees, it's country-ish, all this open space. So he immediately just wants to fix his bike and says, look, can I just camp out here in the field? And everyone is going, are you mad? You can't do this here. So in those days, I was living in the compound, the trust office. So then Erich says to me, you just go home, go back to MeherBaba, go back to the office in MeherBaba, and you take him in the rickshaw. And will you show him some sense? So poor Paul gets in the rickshaw. And then, of course, he tells how he had heard about MeherBaba, and he had traveled overland, and he was just directed this way, and tell me about it. And as it unfolds, I start sharing with him about MeherBaba and who he is in this place, and who had just told him, are you mad, fixing a bicycle here. And it turned out that Paul had such a wonderful stay, he ended up helping with us in the clinic.
Before he stayed, later on,
you tell that.
Later on he shared with us that something he didn't know. His cycle was very fine and all these things, but how it got punctured just near the approach road. So he said, well, now it's an approach road, that sign is there, so let's go, that's how we go. And as he was coming with his punctured tire over here, he heard within him, your destiny awaits you here. So it was so clear for him that your destiny awaits you here. And sometimes someone hears such voice, others may doubt, Others may criticize, others may say anything else, but the someone who hears this is so certain about it that it has a deep meaning for him. So later on, not only he came here, but he stayed here for 4 months, and also I think attended Amartiki. And the next thing later on that he told me was this, that there was someone, any of you know Simon from our England?
Yes.
Simon. So it was Simon, as he was traveling through Europe, he met this person named Simon. He heard, he was a guitarist, was And
Simon Reese.
So here, and then Simon came over here, and this is Baba's joke or Baba's way of bringing him. And the third little thing which I heard was this, that it was Simon who played very well on guitar and all that. So he had on 10th July in Norway, and he was sitting outside and playing on his guitar and all these things, and people wanted to help him and they wanted to ask him anything, but he said no. But he started playing, and the next day, as who is our Eric Salavati, he was in Eric Salavati.
Eric Solvay.
Yeah. So they were there and they took him there, and then there was something. So this is Baba's humor, Baba's joke, how he can be with each of us in whatever form. So a little aside I may say, Baba, we used to play cards with Baba, and sometimes he used to explain what these cards represent sometimes. And so because of this, as I say, Baba can be on with us on any level whatsoever it is, and he teaches us not, at least to me I feel it that way, he teaches us not to teach others, not to condemn others, not to judge others, but just to witness and appreciate if there is something good in it, and go with your life with Baba. So Baba once said, explaining the what you call playing cards, he once just explained that as if in the olden days when it started, so right from second, whatever you call the cards up to 10, is the evolutionary process, the process of evolution. And when that evolution process ends, so that is the man. Means he said, where Jack, you call it Jack. So Jack, that is man. Means the human form. That's the human form. And then he said, I don't know why, maybe because of the compassion and love that a person expresses through female forms. All of us were in some form, time or other were females, or all females who are here must have been male in some other form. So as humans, still Baba generally said about the queen, he said like this, it is a spiritual part, but that is the queen. And then he signed like this. We have the kings like this. Have you seen Have you seen the cards? Like this, they have these things. So that he says, that's the master. That's the God realized person.
The Joker?
No, the king.
King.
And then for the ace, do you call it ace or what? How do you pronounce it? Yeah, ace. Ace is the Paramatma. So when he drops his body, God alone exists. So I thought, now that's all done. So then,
So, excuse me, the commotion, the ace, it was...
Ace, Baba says is the Paramatma. Ace is the Paramatma. And then, one time, he just explained that about Joker. About Joker. What is Joker? Joker is the one who jokes with all and is above all. He is above all person. If you have a Joker, it can replace any card. So that's how she said Avatar is the Joker who jokes with all, juggles with all, and is above all. So that's why when we hear these stories, different stories, so if we want to put him in a certain pattern, it is not possible. Because Baba is for everyone. Baba is on each and every level. So that's why all of us of different nature, we gather here and share the stories about him. And so, and Baba joke, another joke, welcome. Another joke of Baba, and said, come here. Let Baba see. So about Samadhi, I thought somehow a connection with Samadhi, because this being the last day, it is talk of Samadhi also. And I have also brought this special painting that you had sent me of the Samadhi. So what happened was this, and it was also a joke, and now this is a divine joke. Once Baba was traveling in the railways, and he wanted to do some special work. There were 4 or 5 people about him, and he said, now I think I should have a very quiet time, have something special to do and all that. But naturally when the train would start, passengers would come, they would open the door, and you would naturally be inconvenienced by that. So then Baba said, do one thing. Now what you do, as soon as the station is approaching, I will lie down on the berth. And you cover me with a white sheet over me like this. And you sit by my side like this with such faces that naturally when anybody opens the door, he sees some dead person. So you should not go in there. So as soon as the train starts, that's how Baba continues to do his work. In the same way, I personally feel that Baba it is part of his play, part of his game, part of his joke, that he has allowed himself the cloth that is allowed to be there in the Samadhi over there, and now that marble slab is there, I call it a marble slab. It is not a marble slab, it is a marble slab. And so, whenever we go in, Baba can talk personally to each person in his own language, on his own level. And Erika will tell the story of the Baba lover. Yeah.
Well, there was this Baba lover who told us this story. Someone was leaving from the Pilgrim Center and there was a very big farewell for them. And so we were thinking during that time, we thought, oh my gosh, you know, we each have to leave at some time, or, if it's Baba's will. And so we were thinking, we were feeling very sad that this person was leaving and that, we may leave and this sort of thing. So then we were telling this to this other Baba lover, and this Baba lover said, this one time I was getting ready to leave Meherabad, and I walked up the hill, and I went into the Samadhi, and I was feeling very sad, and I did not want to leave. I didn't want to leave Meherabad. I felt that I was leaving Baba also. And they said that as they bowed down to the Samadhi, they heard this audible snap. They heard the snap noise, and they thought, well, someone must be outside. There's a long line, and they want me to hurry up. So they turned to look, and there was no one. There was no one there. So they thought, I must be hearing things. So this person bowed down again and heard another audible snap, very clear. And so she looked up at Baba's painting, and she heard, as if Baba was saying to her, the Baba in you is ready to go. The Baba in you is ready to leave. And so she thought, oh my gosh, I have to hurry. The Baba in me is going, and I have to catch up with him. She ran out of the Samadhi, went down the hill. And so she felt as leaving, it was not just that, that she was bringing Baba with her, but that Baba was leaving and that she was going with him.
And there is another small story of some person whose daughter was a Baba. They were also Baba lovers. They had come here. And Conrad and Judy and Zbert. Yeah. So they had come here, they spent 5-10 days over here, everything was going on well, they would be coming here. But one day Rach asked her father to tell what does he feel now after visiting here. Thinking Baba, taking Baba as a saint, that's already a different thing. But to feel him as he wants us to feel, as the ancient one, that's a different thing, that's always a gift. It cannot be achieved, it cannot be attained. It's always given as grace. So this Conrad, as this person was going, so one day he wanted to have a quiet time. He goes inside the Samadhi, lays there for some time, and then goes inside. And then as he goes inside, he hears the word, hello, hello. Who is calling me so endearingly? Hello, my friend, like this. So is there somebody outside? So he comes outside and goes around, and as it happens at that time, there was no one around. He again goes in And as he steps in again, just like the snap, so again he hears, hello, hello. But that wording was so touching for him that if Divana remembers, as he was sitting here and he was telling this story, when he said for the second time, at the age of 60, he just broke down and started weeping. So that has reached his heart so much, and that is what I feel of Samadhi. Samadhi is not just a small structure. It is God Himself, the center where God Himself is making available to each one of us on our level if we ask Him sincerely and all. What else? And then
The other joke,
which one?
the comma.
Oh, that's
Samadhi's connection.
Oh, that's something different. What sort of person you are?
Bob,
Yeah.
I missed what you said when you were talking about the meaning of the different cards.
Yeah.
I didn't catch what you said about the jack.
Jack, Baba said, is the human form.
Huh.
Jack represents evolution has ended and the what you call reincarnation has come in from human form. And then Queen, after going so many times, experience whatever you think you become, whatever you want, God gives. That's God's nature. So it is with our own thoughts and actions we build our own next body like this. And so, but then comes a time, as you see in this picture, so what is all this? So when the path begins, Baba said, that's the king. And at the end, with the grace of the Master, so that's, God realized, He said, that's the king which we see. The rest you already know. One more thing, maybe after 5 minutes, then you will be able to see what we are going to do. One thing certain, sometimes I just shared this in the morning also. Generally, I've heard when they say, oh, it's the mind, it's the mind, it's the mind, which is deceiving, and mind is the one, as if you want to accuse someone, and it is poor mind who gets all this. Oh, it's the mind, as if you are the children, you are someone else, and that's all good. So, in fact, mind is the mirror of your thoughts. So, mind is the best of friend. So what is this science of auto-suggestions based on? What are these auto-suggestions? If you take mind as your friend, he becomes the best of friend. And that's why when I came to Baba and I heard, I'm not saying if somebody says, no, my mind is a devil, so I say, all right, you take it as a devil, I don't mind, but mind is like a mirror, it will be devil. But Ramdas, one of Shivaji's guru, Baba called him as a perfect master. Among all the little things that I have read, I found that he wrote some couplets which were addressed to mind, and those couplets in a different way were read out, which on the Manatra Shlok, and those were read out to Baba, sometimes by me and many times by Nana before himself. So in that Manatra Shlok, it is mostly saying that we try to befriend the mind. And if we befriend the mind, we really get good responses for us. And the second idea, it is just, I'm presenting you, not as that I know, you can have your own thoughts after it. Second is about the ego, I am egoistic and this will be egoistic. How can we have a time without ego? How can we live without ego? Ego is the guide. And for that, it reminds me of a story which I read in the life of Ramana Maharshi. So he tells a story that in the early days, when there were no cities, only villages, small states would be there. So in one of the small states, there was a thief, and who would just go to some places and just have loot all whatever he had. And that little thing who was there, he tried his best to catch him, but he couldn't. It would be just 20, 50 villages small like that. And he tried his best, but he couldn't find him. And those were the days in which even people value their words. So king, so to say, had an advertisement or what you call bill, what do you call it? Put a big thing, board in place. Just that, yeah. So if at all, he said, if you at all anybody catch, you will get a good price for that and all these things. And so this he said, the thief read this and he said, all right, King, I give you one more chance. I am going to visit such a locality on a such and such a day at such and such a time, and if you catch me, so you have not to give any price to anyone, but you will catch me. The king was very happy. And so naturally on that particular day, that place was cordoned or surrounded, whatever the proper word may be, you are free to use it. And then just at that time when the police were just ready, from that little community or locality, people started coming out in groups, calling out, thief, 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 thief. So they just got in the houses, searched everywhere, the thief was not found. So again the king said, well, you had really come, you had done what you wanted to do, we couldn't catch you. So now if you come, if you really come, so we will give you double the whatever I have said, but please tell us the secret. So he just gives a certain day. On a certain day you call the court and I present myself there and I will let you know how I managed to do. So people were there, all crowded in there. They were just waiting for him. So the thief comes and then says, sir, it's simple. That when you saw the people coming out, calling out, thief, 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 I was the first one. So the ego, whatever you may say, egoless, you cannot stand on your shoulder. But what Baba has said to us, use a tentative ego. So when we say, it's not I, Baba, to whatever extent it is possible, it is you who are helping me to do this, and offer it to him. So that could be one of the ways of being with Baba. And the last part, as then she would say, we will end it with a sort of a conundrum, some sort of a challenge for you, we will send you, and when we meet next, you can give me the answer to it. But before that, I am reminded of a lines of Jigar, and he said, जान ही दे दी जिगर ने आज पाए यार पर उम्र भर की बेकरारी को और आ ही गई. Jigar was one of Baba's favorite poets, and he says, today, with all my trust and love, I offered myself at the feet of my master, and whatever restlessness I felt within my entire life just disappeared. So that's what can happen when you go to Baba and take his darshan. It has not happened with me. It may happen with you now. But who knows? He's compassionate, and I'm not that wise, and he's good of me. And so, if it is this, so naturally, when this is your day, so it is better that you take that day, and when we have, this is the conundrum, as I say, so there is something that was shared by money. We should have lunch, and it was such a thing. People just think that spirituality is not just this, it's all and beyond all. So we used to have conundrums, and this conundrum, I could not solve it, but so she will say it to you, and you can try your brains or talents, whatever it is.